Good afternoon, everybody. I am going to be talking to you guys about something really interesting. I just spent the week at Mark's house working on some stuff with our systems accelerator. And I was just picking his brain, trying to get some insights. Now I can kind of tweak and refine it. We are going to be pushing to beta very soon. So if you are interested, if you're a tech-empowered real estate agent, which I'm guessing you are because you subscribe to this channel, I would love to have you. Love to offer you free access to it during that beta so that you can play around with that systems builder and give us some insights. But that's not what today's about. While I was at Mark's, Google just launched this crazy new update to Google's Bard. Now, I know that most of these videos that I've been sharing about have been focused on ChatGPT through OpenAI, but at its core, we've been talking about how the AI race is just starting. And I truly believe that over the next probably 18 to 36 months, there's going to be a lot of this ebb and flow. And this is Google Bard kind of taking another really hard swing. And when they took a hard swing, they took a really hard swing. So I want to talk to you guys today about some of the really cool stuff that I learned about Google Bard. And I'm going to start diving into Google Bard, and you'll definitely have some videos to come about that. But I just wanted to pop in, share with you guys a quick little video. So for today, I have some notes, and I'm not doing anything super cool. So if you're like, open for tutorials, maybe this isn't the video for you, but you can take away that Google Bard has some really cool stuff, and like this video, and I'll see you on our next one. But if not, I want to share with you guys some really cool highlights. So first and foremost, Google Bard at this like event that they hosted started talking about how they are going to be bringing with Palm 2, which is kind of Google Bard's current model. So think ChatGPT has GPT-4. Google Bard has Palm 2 right now. They are going to have coding and debugging. Now, for most of us as real estate agents, it's probably not super important, but some of us do actually work in HTML or CSS for some of our different pieces. Maybe we've even gone as far as learned some actual code. And Google Bard is going to have access to currently over 20 programming languages, including Python, Python being one of the most common languages. If you know anyone who in your life is a computer programmer or a computer programming enthusiast, or maybe they're just an Android phone owner, they're probably going to encourage you to learn Python. So that's the importance there. But Python is really cool, easy to learn programming language. You're also going to have access to C++, and that's the one that Mark knows kind of the best. He was always talking about it. And Mark has been a computer programmer, computer engineer since the 80s. He learned how to program on binary, and he probably knows more dead languages than real languages, but it's super interesting to me. I know how to, generally speaking, code in HTML, CSS, but you know, I kind of self-taught myself that. But Google Bard will be able to help you code, and the power of this is we can turn plain text into code. So we can say, I would like you to ... and it can start coding for you. Now, you have to be able to ask the right questions. So being a good prompt engineer is really important. But hey, you know, you get the prompts right, and it's going to start helping you code. So that's really cool. Some of the other quality of life things that they added is Bard is going to have a dark mode. That was something they didn't have. Super interesting to me. I personally am the kind of person who does not like overhead lighting. And I also am the kind of person that if there is a dark mode available for an app, I'm probably going to switch to it. Dark mode's kind of cool because it turns the screen layout to like a black, gray, you know, shaded scaling. But what it can also do is it helps your computer, because the computer doesn't have to fill in all of the different pixels, all of the dots with white, which just takes energy. They can use black, which is a little easier. So that's really interesting, really cool. Quality of life more than anything. Now, where the cool stuff that I think you as a real estate agent are going to enjoy is Bard is going to start integrating or using pieces for Gmail and Google Docs. So I think that we have some really incredible quality of life abilities that are going to be coming to our Gmail and our Docs. Now, Mark's piece of technology that he built is a CRM, a customer relationship management system, and it's a software system specifically for real estate agents. Now, inside of that, he has something called workflows, and workflows are those systems that you build out that kind of have sequential tasks that get done, and you can build in some automations into them. Well, when you build in those automations, you have things like emails or text messages or things that you might pre-write out. And what you can do now is you can build out in Bard those templates, right? So that is really interesting to me because Bard is going to start having it where you can generate all of your response through Bard, and then you can just export it over into your Gmail. So you could ask Bard to help you write an email and then export it into your Gmail. And then you go in, you tweak it, and you make it your own. You apply discernment, and then you are ready to go. So I think that that's really cool. I think that's going to help a lot of agents. And I'm interested to see how the nuance of that is built into it. So that is coming really soon. And then Bard also is going to be having tools and extensions coming. So tools and extensions, just like over at ChatGPT, they have plugins, right, are going to give us access so that Bard can start communicating with other different companies. So the example that the woman used on the presentation was Instacart. Now, we kind of covered how ChatGPT has a plugin for Instacart. So here is what I am just so excited for. And if you decided that you wanted to take this as a real estate agent and make it one of your pop buys or make it part of your experience in your core strategies, your conversions, operations, retentions, experiences, the 4 core systems you need in your real estate business, I would love that. And if you have, I would love for you to put in the comments. Let me know what you did, how it's working, and just like help me get gassed up about it, because I think that Instacart is the perfect example of what we could do. Now, how this plays out in real estate, I, as the client, have just signed all of my papers, and you have turned over the keys to me. We've taken the photo, we popped the champagne, we're so excited, and the energy is like, we're buzzing high. Now, I've gone to the door and I've unlocked it for the first time. It is officially mine, and I've walked in. And usually this is where the client experience kind of sinks in, and you're like, whoa, I just spent a lot of money on this. This is mine. And they like, finally, it's real to them, right? And I've gotten to see this with a lot of my friends, a lot of my family. I personally don't own a home currently, but it's something that is very surreal to me. And so what if, as a real estate agent, you knew, okay, Cody is going to be turning the key, opening up, and doing that final walkthrough of his new home at 5 p.m. today. At 5:15, I will utilize Google Bard or ChatGPT with the Instacart integration to send him an entire refrigerator full of food so that he doesn't have to stress out about having food. Now, oftentimes, when you get there, you're like, oh man, I don't even know where to start. And having food delivered to you would be an incredible experience. Me personally, I'm a foodie. I love food. And if I was so stressed out, worried about getting all my paperwork done, make sure we do final walkthroughs and checkouts and all that stuff, I haven't thought about food. I probably haven't eaten that day. I maybe had coffee if I'm lucky. And so for you as a real estate agent to be able to deliver that food to them, I'm going to remember that. So I just think that that's an incredible opportunity that you can have to just go above and beyond, deliver that world-class client experience that we talk about all the time. And I'm excited because that's just one of the integrations another one that we covered, and I'm going to be diving into more OpenAI, ChatGPT integrations with the plugins with Zapier. But Google Bard is going to have those coming very soon, and I just think that there's going to be some really cool things. Now, another thing that Google Bard is going to have access to coming up is kind of full circle, the integration of everything that is Google. So this is where Google has this just incredible, cannon of an arm when it comes to their ability to operate within the AI space. So Google has and is arguably the only place people go to search. People really, I mean, you could go to Bing, you could go to DuckDuckGo, but people just don't, right? What do you do when you're searching? You Google it. So just makes sense. People are going to, within Bard, have access to the Google search as well as Google Images. And so the example they used is maybe you want to go on a vacation and you're explaining some of the things that you would like to do. Well, now Google Bard can start utilizing the Google search function and pop up images that go along with maybe building out an itinerary for your vacation. So that to me is a really cool experience. I think that as real estate agents, it's not necessarily going to enhance the work that we are doing, but just as people who are utilizing AI technology, this is an incredible opportunity. And the other thing that is really cool, she talked about maybe you're an 18-year-old going off to college, and she kind of walked through the experience of interacting with Google Bard to ask it about kind of interests you're in, turning into jobs, and then colleges that you could go check out that would have those programs. And then you could integrate that with maps so you can see where all of those colleges are. And then you can export it over to Google Documents with the Google Sheets feature, and it'll all be divided into that. And then you could segment it out by public versus private. That seems like a really cool experience. I think that there's going to be some incredible power that comes from experiences like that, where we're leveraging AI to aggregate or take all this data and just kind of crunch it down into spreadsheets, into documents, into templates that are easy for us to understand. And I think that that's a great example for college, but there's going to be incredible examples for us within real estate on how we can do that for the buying or the selling process or the customer experience, just all sorts of things. Now, the last thing that they looked at was with the extensions feature within Google Bard. So think very similar to the plugins feature. They're soon going to be partnering with Adobe with Adobe Firefly. So Adobe has an AI as well that's an image generator. And Adobe Firefly, you could ask it to generate a image through Bard, Google Bard, and it'll do that. And so the example she had was a unicorn that she could put on a card that she's sending out for her daughter's 3rd birthday. Now, as real estate agents, if we had access to AI-generated custom pieces of art that we could leverage in, say, our newsletters or our email templates or things like that, that just gives us another little personal touch that I think is really important. Now, when I was at my last technology company, I was actually in charge of using that HTML that I had taught myself to build out a newsletter template each month. And we would send it to real estate agents. Perhaps you were one of the customers who received it. And the newsletter was designed to be sent out from the agent to all of their leads and all of their customers. Now, each month I would have to go to a site called Unsplash, which gives high quality royalty-free images. And I would have to find images that match the general tone or theme of the articles that were being written, and I was plugging into this newsletter, and then I would have to house them. Well, still is kind of not the best thing, because now I'm struggling or not able to give an artist credit like they really deserve to. Even though they're royalty-free images, it's still good to give people credit. And so if we have access to AI generated, not only can I get even closer with the images matching the text or the theme of what I'm talking about, but I can do it, and I'm not necessarily neglecting to give an artist credit. Now, you could say, oh, Cody, AI is taking those artist jobs, but I think that what it does is it opens up a specialty market for artists to have images like that. And so instead of Unsplash giving out images in hopes that these artists get their name out there, now these artists can start to sell their images because they're human made, high quality images. And so it just opens up a new market. Now, again, this is my personal opinion. AI is a really sharp object, and we have to keep it pointed forward so that we keep ourselves safe, but it just opens up more opportunities for people. And I think that if we lean into it, we're going to find new avenues for leveraging it. Now, the last thing, I said last thing, but the other thing is it is going to be able to support 40 languages. So I shared with you guys how OpenAI could translate all of your templates or your different marketing materials that you get examples of, and are starting to apply discernment to into different languages. The example we used was Spanish. Google Bard is going to be able to do that as well with over 40 languages. So whether you are a real estate agent in Canada that needs to translate to French and English, whether you are a real estate agent maybe in the southern area of the United States, maybe California or Texas and New Mexico, and you want to translate to Spanish, or maybe you live in St. Louis like I do, and you have an incredible little Hispanic culture center within the city, and that's who you get to work with on the daily, and you want to make sure to accommodate them in Spanish or Russian or any of the 40 different languages. Google Bard is going to let you do that. And so I just think that these are really cool things. So this is kind of my sharing with you guys about Google Bard, what is coming to it, and what we expect within the AI arms race, if you'll call it that. I am going to be diving into Google Bard a little bit more. I'm going to be playing around, and just like I do with OpenAI's ChatGPT, what I learned, I'm going to bring back to you guys. I'm going to share it, and I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to articulate different things that you as a real estate agent could use this for. And hopefully you gain something from these, but there are some incredible things coming from Google Bard. And if you haven't looked at it, if you're only focused on OpenAI's ChatGPT, like I have, truthfully, you're missing out on some really cool things. I think we as the consumer get this incredible opportunity to kind of leverage both sides of the factor. It's funny to me that they're competing against each other as if one will remain dominant. I know that that's kind of how you look back to cameras, right? Canon with the Canon, I think the Zap Shot, and there was another one. I think another example of that would be DVD versus Blu-ray. There's always these competitions that happen, and it's cool because it pushes innovation forward. But I truthfully believe there's a space for all of this. I think Google is going to get really good with Google Bard at doing certain things really well. OpenAI is going to get really good with ChatGPT doing certain things well. And now it's our job to learn those different pieces, learn how we can leverage them and leverage them. But that's what I've got for today. That is, I've been sitting on this for a week now because I've just been so excited, but I was at Mark's and the background just isn't quite as good. We have some incredible stuff coming up for you guys with our systems accelerator. I'm so excited to show you more. I should have back from my developer team some screens coming up very soon that I can show you. I did spend a little bit of time with them this weekend working on what does layout look like, how does user experience when you're in the app clicking through the actual thing, how do you engage with the app, and what parts frustrate you. And so we're going to have that coming to you. Again, if you're interested in the beta, I'll throw a link down at the very bottom. We have a sign up page that you can go sign up to be part of the beta. I am looking for 20 real estate agents right now. And if you're interested, sign up. If I sell spots, I would love to have you. Otherwise, you can get more information on the public release by signing up on that page as well. But man, I'm so excited. I have aptly coined him Sam, the systems accelerator manager. And I was working on a little token robot sketch icon that I can integrate into the app just for a little whimsy. But he is going to be able to do some incredible things for you as a real estate agent in your business, for building out those core systems that you need in your business and doing it faster than, truthfully, I've ever imagined possible, and leveraging AI to do it. So that's the power. I've been using OpenAI's ChatGPT to get the baseline code. I hired some developers that I've been sending the baseline code to. It saved them probably about 20 hours of development time in having to take that code. And yeah, we're bumping and moving and kicking and grinding, and we're gonna have that really soon for you. I am learning as a budding technologist that even if you wanted it to have a beta in a month, it's probably going to take 2 months, and it's looking like it might be 3 months. Who knows? But I am pushing these guys as hard as I can with as much kindness and patience as possible. But that's what I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments if you are diving into Google Bard and what you have been doing in Google Bard. And I will see you next time.